All right, good evening, Sir Alex Dynamite, the defendant here, the guy who, did some shady things. This man, you are here today for one reason only, and that is the assault of a man, special counsel for Mr. Roman Reigns. You attacked him on SmackDown Friday night several weeks ago, and I honestly took a look at the case, the paperwork here. You assaulted this man on live television. You've given him bruised, battered ribs. He's in the hospital bed as we speak. He's unable to appear here tonight, and it's very unfortunate for you, I will say. But I presume you have your lawyer here at the stand.
Yes, hello. Today, I'm Saul Goodman. As you all may know, I'm Better Call Saul. You've seen it. You've seen the advertisements, Your Honor. Today, I'm here defending my client, Alex Dynamite.
Yes, and here we have a lawyer, Paul Heyman's,
Yes,
Mr. Zac
yes, yes,
Efron.
sir.
Hello.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I am here to defend my client who was savagely assaulted on live television for no good reason, being like an animal, broken bones, concussion, broken kidneys, and punctured lungs, all in front of thousands of people for no good reason.
Yes, Alex Dynamite. You are aware that this is a misdemeanor that you have committed, correct?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but my client will be pleading the fifth. He will not be talking of any sort, and I will be the one here that will be
Well,
answering his
okay,
questions.
Mr. Goodman. You know the laws, right?
I'm well, law, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, it says that you cannot attack another living person without their consent. You cannot, you know, go out of your way to get physical with them in a confrontation. And your man here, he has decided to do that. He did that unprovoked, mind you. He under threats first. He gave the threats to Mr. Heyman, and Heyman did not oblige. And Heyman tried to leave the area, as of course somebody should do, instead of getting into a physical confrontation. Mr. Alex Dynamite did not take that lightly, and he went ahead and ran after him, and he proceeded to attack him. You are aware of this, correct?
With
I
a
am.
with
I
a
am, Your Honor.
weapon.
Objection, hearsay.
Listen, okay. I want this to be known that this was on live television, so we have the footage that can easily be replayed. Would you like us to replay the footage?
No, I am well aware of the footage. I have seen it. My client has admitted to that. He has given me well enough information of that. But I would like to make my statement if that's okay with you, Your Honor.
Brandon?
Your Honor, with all due respect, I understand that my client here is a little loose-hinged. I mean, as you can tell, he has in his medical records, in his records, it has been shown that he has been gone to a little bit of asylums, you could say, a little mental hospitals, we could say. I understand that, what I may be saying, but I have here files of his medical record, and he is indeed suffering from something that we could like to call DID.
Okay.
Your Honor,
It,
may I
it,
have the opportunity to speak, sir?
Go ahead.
Your Honor, with all due respect, this man right here is trying to pull the insanity card. He's trying to get this man off the case by pleading like fairy tale insanity. It does.
objection,
It.
hearsay, hearsay.
Go ahead.
What I believe, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, Your Honor, you may be thinking I'm pulling by my client here. You may be thinking that he's pulling that card where it's the insanity case, as you will. Your Honor. But that's not the case. You see, we also have unseen footage of Mr. Heyman here attacking Mr. Dynamite. Obviously, he's suffering from DID, which is an identity disorder. That identity disorder means, as you are all aware, that he can change from a certain identity in a blink of an eye. It doesn't matter what it is, it's more of a quick snap, if you will. And with that, as you can see on the video that you've shown, or on the video that we've seen online, that's not what I saw. I saw what we like to call a more innocent person than what I had to see on
Objection.
the clips.
Reasons.
There's no objection.
Objection. My objection, sir, it does not matter whether this man has a medical condition. You cannot excuse the beating your client gave to my client Paul. You cannot excuse such violent manners. And if you actually do your research on DID, it is well documented that the alters can swap willingly. So if your man was watching his alter beat another man almost to death, he could have stepped in there and stopped it. But he didn't. He watched it and let Paul Heyman...
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor. It cannot be willingly. Sometimes it can be when you're falling asleep, Your Honor. You see, I have seen it happen before when my client had accidentally fell asleep when we were doing the paperwork and when we were filling it out, Your Honor. It had happened to him that he was falling asleep, and what you saw online was more than just what I saw. I also saw the brutality of what Mr. Heyman had come. But as I was saying, there's unseen footage here. If I can pull it up, it is file 135.
Where is the footage?
I'm objection. What is this? He's interrupting.
Well, first let me say this. If you say he is of the DID, do you have the paperwork?
I do. Here it is. Can I get it out of my
Yes.
my briefcase here?
Yes.
Okay. So here is. Let me come over to you, Your Honor. Here is the medical records of him actually diagnosed with DID from when he was at least 5 years old.
Okay.
But I also do have something else to prove it here. We have footage. If you can go, if someone else can go to file 135 here, we have a unseen footage of SmackDown backstage. This is before the confrontation between Mr. Dynamite and Mr. Heyman. This is what you like to call, I would like to call it, normal Alex Dynamite. Now, normal Alex Dynamite, you would say, is a little more friendlier, not more on the side to where he isn't trying to hurt someone with any malicious intent. As you can see here in the footage, if you guys can pull up file 135, there's a footage of him talking to Mr. Heyman in a respectful manner when he's trying to talk about the situation with the Roman incident. As you can see here that Mr. Heyman smacked Alex Dynamite because he had believed that this was something, how can I put this, different.
Well, let me say this. It seems that indeed he does have DID, but the problem of the matter is, nowhere in his contract was it stated that he suffered from this. Nowhere in his contract. I have reviewed his contract from Vince McMahon, wrestling under the company of WWE, and he did not let Vince McMahon know this. Now, I know Vince McMahon is responsible for his performers, his superstars, if you will, and what they do in and out of the ring. And even though Vince McMahon is going to be punished for this because his own employee decided to attack another man, it doesn't matter about that. What matters is the fact that Mr. Alex Dynamite did not go on record stating that he suffers from DID. Not until recently
Also,
that he let
also,
this
Your
know.
Honor, may,
Your
may, I, may I
Honor,
respond to that?
may I speak?
Yes.
Your, thank you, Your Honor. Now, Your Honor, his claim of DID would be correct, except for one thing. It is scientifically proven that DID patients, and here's the paper right here, I'll give it to you. It is scientifically proven that DID patients, once they switch, they do not remember. They have blackouts. They do not remember anything. And yet this man sitting across remembers every tiny
Uh-huh.
detail of what he did.
That is
And
true.
Incorrect, Your Honor.
it
May
is
I speak?
also in his. I wasn't finished though. If you would let a good man
Yes.
finish.
Yes.
It is
Continue.
also his responsibility as an athlete and as a performer on live television to write in his contract the medical condition he has. If he has not written that down, that is on then he cannot blame anyone else for him attacking somebody because he should have written that down and then told everyone else around him. And yet he didn't. And he was, according to the man sitting across from me, he was diagnosed with this at 5 years old. Then why didn't nobody tell anybody?
That is a very good response.
Your Honor, may I make a response to this?
Yes, this is your final one. Final statement.
So, if you had a disorder like this, would you tell it out to everyone, your friends, to make fun of you?
So we're going on hypotheticals now.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. In general, it's not hypotheticals because he doesn't remember any of this. The other
What's funny?
lawyer to the other side. Look, Your Honor.
Sir, let it be known that you are saying this, and your defendant here, he's not really talk. He refuses to talk.
Now, why would he refuse to
Well, how,
talk?
shouldn't he be the one explaining how his DID works, not you?
It's the same thing with every other case. Let's think about any other case. No other person is supposed to talk besides the lawyer, Your Honor.
I'm giving him the stand.
Well, he pleaded fifth. You can't interrupt the law like that, Your Honor.
But why is he pleading the fifth? Why can't he
No,
speak
no,
for
sustain.
himself?
Okay, continue as you were.
As I was just saying, how would you feel if you had a disorder like BID, ADHD,
I would want to
autism?
let everyone around me know about my case.
But what happens if you couldn't? What happens if it was so uncontrollable and so, as you said, scientifically proven that you can't even control it yourself?
I wouldn't feel comfortable being around a environment like in the public, just much less inside an arena.
You're right. But Alex Dynamite, my client here, wanted to do what his passion, like every other superstar in there, he wanted to proceed his passion, and he thought he can control it. He really did think he could control what seemed to be DID, what seemed to be scientifically proven blackouts. You're right. He doesn't remember any of this. The only person that remembers it, and the only person that you have seen in the ring, is his alter persona, his alter person that he doesn't even remember. When he's backstage, as you saw, he changes in an instant. It's willingly because he can't control.
Well, you're
Now you may be right. You may be right on the parts where you say that he can't go off of the insanity card. Why is it he's saying this? Because he may be scared. Who knows what's going on in Alex Dynamite's head? Because we don't know. This man has been checked into a mental
Maybe he
hospital
should.
since.
Maybe the only way we can avoid any further punishment is if he might as well just resign from his current status, his contract.
also, Your Honor, to respond to what the man said, he said when he goes backstage, he changes in an instant, correct? That is what the man has said, right?
Correct.
but it is also, I'm using scientifically proven facts by psychologists and other medications that DID switches do not happen in an instant. It takes hours. It takes even days for an alter to switch.
objection here. Say where is the evidence to this?
And I will
Just
I will say this for evidence. I have reviewed the following CC footage for the WWE inside of that arena at the time, and around backstage area, wherever Alexander Knight went, he did not have any expression hinting at confusion or regret. He seemed to be controlled to me.
nope.
Well, Your Honor, like I said, if it's scientifically proven to say that it is taking hours with no evidence, of course, and obviously saying he can't control, the only person that you could say physically control it would be that other alternative persona. If it was really controlled, Your Honor, then the normal one, the one that basically started that, would have right away controlled it. He would have probably looked confused. But the reason he isn't saying anything because it's a personal thing. I don't think he would want to share something that's so personal that maybe he can't even control. Yes, he came from the Indies. He came from somewhere that's more of a rough patch. But you're right. There's no excuse for what he did, for the actions that he did, for the charges that he may be put through.
I am about to reach my final decision. For Mr. Alex Dynamite,
Yes.
I want him to stand, and I want to know if he has anything to say before I do so.
Do you mind if I speak to him? You know, obviously.
Yeah. By all means, go for it.
Thank you. No, he doesn't want to say anything.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I have one final say before you give your final
Make your
decision?
final statement.
Now, this man said he came from the Indies, correct? And he didn't want to share his condition, correct?
Indies. What does that lingo mean?
It's more of a wrestling. It's like a company, a different company.
Amateur, like
Amateur
Oh,
areas.
okay. Fair enough.
But according to this man, he went around in the amateur circuits, building his way up without telling anybody of his condition, which put everyone else in danger. Him knowing that, he would put others in danger, and he still did it. That's all I have to say, sir.
Okay. Please give me a moment. I reach my decision.
All right, sir.
All right, Mr. Alex Dynamite, may you please stand up? Okay. I have reached the verdict here that you are guilty, and that your punishment will be one-week suspension, and you will pay a fine of $500,000, and you will be removed of 50% of your pay, leading until Vince McMahon and you can reach a new contract. Until then, your status as a WWE superstar and performer is revoked, and you are not allowed anywhere near within 1,500 feet of Paul Heyman. Not only that, it says that you are needed to be checked into a hospital for the time being, a mental hospital, and you must get all of your paperwork done and revised, and see if you are truly a subject of DID.
Okay, we agree to those terms, and we'll get the payment out right away, and yeah.
Get out of my court.